It felt great to be back out there. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really nice to see you here. Now, first off, I just want to say thank you so very much. So many of you sent well wishes to me since I hurt my back. And although I am not 100%, I am able to get out there and do some detecting as long as I take it easy, which for me is not an easy thing to do. But this past Monday, I felt good enough to get back out there and do a little bit of detecting. I have to say, it felt really good to finally get back out there and swing that coil again. Well, the first hunt you're about to see takes place along the river at one of my latest permissions, an old mill worker's house that was built back in the 1920s. I was definitely having some fun out there metal detecting despite the blistering hot weather. And although I only lasted a couple hours, I ended up heading back home with some very cool finds. Well, bright and early again, even brighter and earlier. We've got temperatures are supposed to get close to 100 today. So I got out here very early. Try to get a few hours in before it becomes unbearable. And I limbered up with a few pieces of trash and a couple old pieces of trash, so definitely encouraged. I'm in the back field behind the new permission, and this one was giving me a 48, and I dug down expecting more garbage, but check it out. Yeah, piece to a skeleton key with some nice patina on it. Now this is called the bit, and some people call it the tooth. And this is really the bit with two teeth. So very cool, and yeah, I'm definitely thrilled to see that. And who knows what's going to come out next. I've been finding quite a few old pieces back here, so I'm definitely encouraged. I'll tell you, this site is so crazy sometimes. I actually got another pin. Someone must have collected pins back in the day. I found so many of them, and I think I have another one here. It still has the pin back on it. Let's see. Check that out. I think someone got a pin back, this type of pin, everywhere they went. A little souvenir, places they've been. So this one says Savannah, Georgia. And what does that say? My eyes are not focused. Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Ah, pretty cool. And I also pulled this out too. This must have gone on top of it. I cleared it like a little beveled piece that went on top of it. So pretty cool. Well, this is pretty cool. As I say, dig it all. You just have no idea what's going to come out of that hole. Getting a 27 to 29, I was hoping for a nickel, but it was a little bit big. And I pulled out this stainless steel spoon. And no, I'm not getting excited over that, but hey, it's a find. But since I dug that signal, it freed up a signal that was directly underneath it that I had no idea was there. It was giving me a 40, and I had to widen the plug just a little bit. It was right under this end of the spoon, and gave it a pop, and look what popped out. A ring. This is why I dig it all. And this, let's see, probably just going to be costume, yeah. But hey, it's cool. It's got a little flower design. Let me see if I can Get you in on this little flower design that has a little stone in it. Little fake stone, but I'm sure that little girl that lost this one a long time ago was probably devastated. But what a great little find. And yeah, that's just a great example of just exploring every signal you get. And in case you're wondering, I'm still hunting in Park 1. And I do like Park 2 a lot, but Park 1's working just fine for now. I'll probably, what I'll probably do is just hunt this with Park 1 until, the finds get scarce or something, then I move to a different program. Do it all over again. So, pretty cool. I was getting a 23 signal, not the best signal in the world on the 900. Great signal on the 800. But I did get this about 4 inches down. It's a little clock gear. So just wanted to show you that because, as you know, I'm finding a lot of clock and pocket watch parts here. And it's just another one. Well, this next one was coming in a little high on the VDI and showing very deep. I'm probably down about 10, 11 inches. Finally got it out, had to work for it, but looks like I have the remains of a railroad spike. So, I like to film these, I like to find them. And of course, here comes another awesome train picture. Well, this one is not earth-shattering, but it's very neat. It was giving me a 25 signal, and I got this. And I thought that's pretty cool. I started to wipe it off, and it definitely has a very cool design on it. Hopefully you can see that. The lighting's not the best, but I mean, this piece is well into the 1800s. And I also found that Indian Head penny a couple of episodes ago on the other property, but sort of on the border with this. So I'm starting to find a lot of really older pieces here than I normally do. And there may have been a very early house here that maybe predated the one that's here right now that was built in the 20s or 30s. So yeah, that's a great sign. And yeah, I'm just going to keep digging everything and see what pops up. But that's a really pretty little piece. Probably a part to some kind of escutcheon or something. Well, I tell you, I didn't know what to make of this signal at first. After I got it, it was giving me a 68 to 70. I was kind of hoping maybe a weedy or something. But check this out. Once I got it brushed off, man, oh man, do I wish I'd found the complete piece. This is part to a very cool old toy car. Look at that. That's the engine. It's got dual carbs. It looks like it's got a blower. And check out the headers. And then you have the front grille and headlights on it. How cool is that? Oh, what a cool toy car this must have been. If only that was complete, but at least I got a pretty cool looking piece of it. So, very cool. It's an old 20s or 30s hot rod, and definitely happy to have that. Well, had to find a bit of shade. It is just getting brutal out here, and it's only 10 o'clock. But got a 67, dug down about 5 inches, and pulled out a nice older weedy. Came out beautiful too. And this one's going to be a 1938, just like I got last weekend. Philadelphia mint. Backside is really nice looking too. So happy to have this one, and yeah, there's got to be more out here. Well, I got this signal and I was like, ooh, baby. It was giving me like a 94, 95 high tone, repeatable both ways. Just sound beautiful. Only problem is, sound a little bit too big. Wasn't quite tight enough for that elusive silver dollar. So I started digging down about 11 inches. I finally popped it out, and it was this big old piece of brass. And I thought, oh well. But I always like to clean them off to see if I can find anything. And I did. Check this thing out. It is old. It's actually dated. I believe it has an ASA date of 1938. And it's a piece, some kind of a plumbing piece, I would imagine. It says inlet here, outlet here. But it's from a company called Watts. It was located in Lawrence, Massachusetts, USA. So that is awesome. Very nice piece. I enjoy finding these things. And it says something up here. I can't quite make it all out. ASME. I'll have to work on that. But yeah, a lot of people just throw these in the junk. But I always like to take the time to look up the company, see if there's anything interesting to learn from this piece. And that's the first piece of plumbing fixture or something like that I've ever seen dated. So very cool. Well, we have yet another mystery solved this week, thanks to all of you watching last week. You might recall the peculiar old metal ball that I found in last week's episode. Well, a lot of you out there helped to solve this one, but the very first ones to really solve the mystery were Jay Tetzloff and Jennifer Holfatcher, who were both watching the episode and were quick to let me know that this was indeed an old bedpost knob. So a huge thank you goes out to Jay, Jenny, and everyone else who helped put this mystery to bed. And helped make last week's mystery find this week's mystery solved. Well, I definitely have something interesting in the hole down here. It was giving me a 87, 88, about 5-6 inches down, hoping for silver quarter or who knows what. I got a clod of dirt out of the hole and I broke it open and this fell right into the hole. Oh man, some kind of aluminum token, about the size of a silver dollar it looks like. So I grabbed the camera. Oh, it is definitely getting hot out here. But I don't know if this is like some Mardi Gras piece or who knows, maybe something old. I'm gonna go ahead and spray some water on it. Wow. Bismarck. Wild Prairie Rose. Look at that. That is pretty cool. Let's see what this side looks like. Ah. And I love these kind of finds. I tell you, always something different. So let me just wipe this off. North Dakota. How cool is that? November 2nd, 1889, 39th state, the Sioux State. Wow, that is awesome. Very cool. And I'll get that cleaned up when I get home, but that's a really neat piece. I was definitely not expecting that. I just have to show you these because it's amazing how many pieces of clocks and pocket watches I'm finding out here in the back field. And there's another one. That's just crazy. I'm just finding them everywhere here. So, pretty cool though. I won't complain. It beats the pull tab I thought it was going to be. Next signal was a very deep 76, repeatable both ways, about 8 inches, and I threw my dirt up and look what just slid out. You can see the impression here where it was, and you can plainly see I got another wheat penny. So very cool. Let's see what we have. Wow, it came out nice and clean. See if I can get you on this. What does it say? Looks like a 46 Philadelphia Mint. And what do you know? Another 39 on the VDI and another clock part. And I'm about 20 yards away from the last one. And this is going to be one of the main gears. It's crazy. Well, this one was giving me a 94.95. I brushed it off. Definitely almost a foot down. But it's an old water meter cover. But it says Badger Meter Manufacturing Company, Milwaukee. It does have a patent date on the back, so I might be able to date it. Kind of give me an idea of when this was used with the house that once sat here. So, pretty cool piece, big brass item. And, oh, it gave me a beautiful signal. Well, this one was giving me a 60, and I dug down and I got a key. I don't think it's very old, but that was kind of cool, so I will take that. But I also got a little bonus find in here. I have no clue what this is. I think it's a little duck figure. Maybe Donald Duck or something. I can see like 2 web feet. And I think that's part of his body. That's pretty neat. Yeah, it is marked on the bottom. Let's see. Wipe it off here. Disney. Made in China. What? That's probably a Donald Duck figurine. So maybe the other half is somewhere around here. Well, this next one was giving me an 8688, kind of a quarter signal, and dug down, got myself a toy car. I always enjoy finding those. It looks like a Chinese one, but I'll get it cleaned up and we'll get a better look at it later, but very cool. Well, just about a foot away from the toy race car, I got a 84 to 86 signal. Pop the plug in. There you go, another toy car. I don't know what this one is. Maybe it looks like a Hummer, maybe. H1. It's gonna be a Matchbox. Very cool. It looks like it's an H2. And 2002 toy car. So, very cool. I will definitely take that and get it cleaned up. Get you a better look at it. Well, this is such a nice welcome sight. I've got a couple puppies here. This little baby right here. She's been keeping me company. Hey, baby. She has a little friend behind her. They've been roaming around and coming to visit me every so often, but they must have heard I found something good in this hole. Because I tell you, I am wiped out. It is so hot now. And I'm walking across the one permission that I've pounded to death, and I get a nice quick high tone as I'm swinging across to the car, and I'm stopping. It's repeatable both ways, and I'm like, oh boy. So I dug down, and it said it was still in the hole, and I gave it a quick pop, and check it out. I got a silver dime. You have no idea how sweet that is to see right now. I am so bone tired. And so if there's any camera work problems or anything, you're just gonna have to excuse me, because I can barely move now. Check it out, it's a Rosie. I am so thrilled. What year is that? Oh, 1958. Yep. Boy, look at that. Looks like the day it was dropped. Very nice. And a Denver mint mark to boot. Well, I'll tell you what, I will definitely take that. And yeah, I think tomorrow I'm sleeping in. And then I've got to write the favorite find. Now, if you guys are new to the channel and don't know about that, every Sunday I put out a favorite find post on the community tab and also on my Facebook page. So check that out. I think you'll enjoy it. I've already done about 250 of them, so there's plenty of them to read, and there's some pretty amazing things I've found over the years and all over the world. So pretty cool. But I'll tell you what, this looks as good as a gold coin to me right now. Well, I must have done something to my back during that hunt, because the next day I was out of commission. And I spent the next week flat on my back in bed trying to heal myself up. And it was no fun, especially since I had a brand new permission waiting on me. Now, I finally felt well enough to go out there for a couple hours. And I took it easy, and I did a little bit of detecting. And I wanted to show you the very first thing that I found. It was old, unusual, and completely unexpected. Yeah, it was right up my alley. So I'm up bright and early, of course, to beat the heat as usual, but also we have some nasty storms rolling in around noon. So I'm out here just after sunup, and this is my new permission. It's actually a full acre here. Includes that house there. It's probably built in the 30s, all the way down to here, this whole section here. Now, it's actually a new old permission. I used to have permission of this place a long time ago. I hunted a couple times and did really well, and I must have got sidetracked. It changed hands, and now it changed hands again, but luckily I know the person that owns it, and so I have wide open free reign of the spot. And another thing, it's got some nice historical buildings around it too, so I have a chance to find things that are even older than the house it sits on. And I've also got a brand new piece of equipment too. Minelab sent me the Profind 40, and just playing with it out of the box, it's really nice. And as you know, I love my Profind 35. I've been using it at least 4.5 years without a single problem. So I'm looking forward to using this one, and time to get it dirty. Well, just hunting on the edge of the property line here, and this area up here I did really well in before, but I know there's a lot more there, so kind of heading up here. There's a lot of original dirt up here. Got a 76 heading up the hill, and pulled this out. And I'm like, well, I guess there's nothing on it, but when you flip it over, the design is on this side. Look here, there's even design on the outer parts. Wow, isn't that cool? Well, let me get this cleaned off and see what the heck this is. That is really neat. Well, here it is. I have to say, I wasn't expecting much from this piece initially. I was like, well, no idea, but wow, look at this. Once I cleaned it up, look at all the ornate design all over it. Now some of the plating's starting to come off, and so I'm not going to do any more out here. I'm going to work on it when I get home, but isn't that cool? But I really not quite sure what it is. I thought maybe an ashtray, but usually they would have an indentation on the sides here. But I don't know. Very, very cool, and definitely an older piece. This one surprised me. Well, I absolutely loved finding that old jewelry tray, and come to think of it, I don't think I've ever found one of those before. Now, here's another look at it and everything else that I was fortunate enough to find during this episode. Well, I ended up finding quite a bit more that morning at that brand new permission, and I can't wait to share those with you in next week's episode. Now, don't go anywhere just yet, because I have even more amazing histories still to share with you, and that is coming up in just a few seconds. And remember, it's history that makes you find a treasure, and I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.